Okay, 7th grade, this is lesson 5 in chapter 6. We're talking about solving multi-step equations. And I will say this, if you are still uncomfortable with lesson 4, the 2-step equations, make sure you go back and check that video out again before doing lesson 5. Lesson 5 builds on your understanding of lesson 4. Okay, let's start with some vocab. So, follow the 3 S's, which are simplify, separate, solve when solving equations. So we should know that one. Right? Simplify, separate, solve. We should be kind of saying that in our sleep by this point. This is such, it's our mantra for chapter 6. When simplifying, just some hints to you. Be sure to look for parentheses and like terms. Okay, if you see parentheses or like terms, we are not fully simplified. When separating, you can only use addition and subtraction, and when solving, you should only use multiplication or division. So these are just some hints for each step along the way. Make sure you write these down. Make sure you study these. Let's see a practice problem. All right, so in chapter 6, lesson 4, we talked about the 3 S's, simplify, separate, solve, but none of our problems actually had to be simplified. In this lesson, you'll see problems that really do need to do the simplify step. Okay, and this one is a perfect example of this. So over here on the left-hand side of the equal sign, remember what I said in this simplify step. We're looking for parentheses and like terms, and if we see either one of those, then we know we're not simplified yet. Well, I see some parentheses here, so that's the first thing I have to take care of. So remember, we would follow the order of operations, so that means that we are going to handle our parentheses first, which means we're going to do some distributive property. And I prematurely put a plus sign here. We're going to see why in a second. A positive times a positive is a positive, so that's where that plus sign came from. 2 times 4m is 8m. Positive times a negative is a negative, and 2 times 5 is 10. So I did the distributive property to get rid of my parentheses, but I'm still not simplified yet because I have like terms. So now I have to combine my like terms. 2m plus 8m equals 10m. Bring down the minus 10. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the 80. Okay, now that has been the completion of my simplify step. No parentheses. No like terms, we're good to go, okay? So now we need to separate, which means we've got a variable side and a constant side. On the variable side, which term does not belong? That's the minus 10. To get rid of that, we are going to add 10. Add 10 to both sides to keep it balanced, and we get 10m equals 90. That would be our separate step. Now we have to solve. So our solve step is to say, well, we've got a 10 here with the variable. That means I have to divide by 10 to get the variable all by itself. Do that on both sides to keep it balanced, and we get m equals 9. So let's check it. The checks are a little bit more complicated now because we have to substitute in a couple different places. So 2 times m would be 2 times 9 plus 2 times the quantity of 4 times 9 minus 5, and we're hoping that whole left side ends up simplifying to be equal to 80. Let's do this step by step. Parentheses first, 4 times 9 is 36. Copy everything else into the problem. Parentheses still, 36 minus 5. Oops, I almost forgot my equal sign, my 80. 36 minus 5 is 31. Okay, and 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 31 is 62. Oh my goodness, what a check this one is, right? 18 plus 62 is 80. So your checks, the longer the problem, the longer the check will be. Correct answer is m equals 9. And there's our big, long check to check our solution. Let's look at another one. This one's a little bit shorter here. So this time, this problem is a little bit different because we've got variables on both sides. So the tough part here, let's go through our 3 S's, simplify, separate, solve. On the left, I don't see like terms. I don't see parentheses, so that side is simplified. On the right, I don't see like terms. I don't see parentheses, so that side is simplified as well. So this problem is in this lesson because it's a little more complex. We've got variables on both sides, which actually makes it a little bit trickier to determine which side is our variable side. So when we have variables on both sides, we want to take a look and see if we've got constants on both sides, and we don't. So only one of our sides has constants, so it would make sense that this would be the constant side. And that means this is the variable side. Okay? So now we look at our constant side and we say, which one of these two terms does not belong on the constant side? Well, negative 24 is a constant, so that belongs on that side. We actually need to get rid of the 15b. And remember, to get rid of a term, we're going to add or subtract it away. So this is a positive 15b, so I'm going to subtract 15b to get rid of it. And I'm going to subtract 15b from the variable side as well. I'm left with 3b on the left, negative 24 on the right, and now my separate step is finished because I've only got variable terms here and constant terms here, so I'm fully separated. So now I have to do my third S, which is solve. So to solve, we're going to divide both sides by 3, and we get b equals negative 8. Let's do the check. 18 times negative 8 equals 15 times negative 8 minus 24. So something new about this check is that we have problems to solve on both sides of the equal sign. We've kind of been waiting for this, guys. We've been waiting for this moment to come where we get these more complex checks, and here they are. So we are going to take 18 times negative 8. I'm going to do that on a calculator to speed things up. 18 times negative 8 is negative 144. Over here, we're going to multiply first. 15 times negative 8 is negative 120. Bring down your minus 24. This side is already simplified, but we still have to simplify this side. Add a line, change the sign. Negative 120 plus negative 24 is negative 144. So our check worked out nicely, and our solution is confidently b equals negative 8. Last problem, last one, it's a word problem. Are you ready? We've got Parker and Jay. They bought lunch in the cafeteria. Parker bought a full tray for $3 and he got 2 snacks. Jay bought 2 full trays for $3 each and he bought 1 snack. Their totals were exactly the same. What was the total cost, or what was the cost of each snack? All right, so verbal model. Lots of stuff going on here. My verbal model is going to be as simple as possible. I know that their totals were exactly the same. So I know that Parker and Jay have equal amounts. That's my verbal model. That's it. Now, what I want to do is I want to take Parker's amount and write it as an algebraic expression. So let's see what Parker bought. He bought a full tray for $3, so a $3 tray of food, and he bought 2 snacks. Well, 2 snacks. Snacks is my unknown, so I'm going to use a variable, x. So $3 tray plus 2x. All right, 2 snacks. We don't know the cost of the snack. Jay bought 2 full trays for $3 each, so I can write that as 2 trays for $3 each. And he bought 1 snack, and the snack is x. We already decided our snack would be x, right? So now we have an equation to solve. And this equation, I'm telling you, they're getting a little trickier here, aren't they? So first thing we have to do is we have to simplify. So on the left side, I'm looking for parentheses or like terms. I don't see it. On the right, I'm looking for parentheses or like terms. I do see something here that can be simplified. 2 times 3. I'm going to simplify that. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus x is Jay's amount. 3 plus 2x is Parker's amount. And now I am simplified. So now I need to separate, and that means I need a variable side and a constant side. And now I have variables on both sides and constants on both sides. So which side is the variable side? I will tell you. I'm going to make this side the variable side, and I'll tell you why. Here there are 2 x's. Here there's only 1x, so this side has more variables. I'm going to call that the variable side. Does it matter? No, it does not. But if I want to keep my variable term a positive term, then I'm going to make this my variable side. So we are going to have to separate twice. We do this in 2 separate steps. First, I'm going to look at the variable side and see which term does not belong. It's this positive 3. So to get rid of that positive 3, we're going to subtract that 3 away. And that means we have to subtract 3 from this side as well. And when we do that, we're going to line it up with the 6 because they're both constants. Okay? We don't want to subtract 3 from x because they're not like terms. We're going to subtract 3 from the 6. So on our variable side, we have 2x left. On the constant side, 6 minus 3 equals 3. Bring down your plus sign, bring down your x. You would think that I'm separated, but I'm not. I still have constants and variables on the same side over here, so I have to get rid of the term that doesn't belong on the constant side, and that's this x term. So to get rid of the x, I'm going to subtract it away, and I have to balance that out on the other side as well. 2x minus x is 1x, and 3 is all that's left on the left-hand side, and lucky for us, we are actually finished because that x is all alone and isolated. All right? So, answer here is that each snack cost $3 because that's what the question was. What's the cost of the snack? All right? But let's check it to make sure we like our answer. So, the equation we wrote was 3 plus 2x. So, I'm going to substitute 3 in for x equals 2 times 3 plus x. So, I'm going to substitute there as well. So now I have to simplify both sides of that expression. Sorry about that. So left side, 2 times 3 is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And we are equal. This was just another way to simplify this expression, just doing one side at a time. So answer sentence that would make this really, really nice and complete is that each snack cost $3. Sorry. There we go. Take your time on this one, guys. We're going to go over lots more like this tomorrow in class. Go ahead and do those practice problems and ask questions if you have any.